What it do? What it do?
Happy Friday, boys.
Happy Friday. Hi,
Labor Day
Chad.
weekend.
Glad we're here, guys. I'm glad we are here. It is Friday. I have a solid, normally 2 days, this weekend, 3 days of moving freight from home instead of at the office.
Oh, you work in the office?
Yeah. I'm operations manager, so I don't get to move as much freight as I used to. So I train and manage the team that moves the freight. I jump in. I still move 150 shipments a month myself, but most of my job is just helping people move freight.
Yes, I didn't know you worked in the office, bro.
Oh yeah, 12 to 16 hours a day.
I mean, I do that, but I'll be chilling at the crib, man.
You can't do it. I tried doing that. I can't do it. Realistically, I got a stocked liquor cabinet here at my house, and I tried doing the work at home thing, and I used that liquor cabinet a little too much, a little too early. I realized there's an issue. I got on a call with Pabst Blue Ribbon, sales call. And I was like, I was a little nervous. So I went ahead and took a couple of, drinks. And I was like, 9:45 in the morning, whatever. And then I realized it was 9:45 in the morning and I was drinking whiskey. So got to drop back in the office.
Hey, bro, in the words of Alan Jackson, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Shit. Oh, Jason, what's up, killer?
What's up, buddy?
Man, dude, it is so great to talk to you, man. I've never talked to you like talk. You know what I mean? We always just talk shit over LinkedIn.
That's the name of the game. It's good to finally get on cam and meet everybody and say what's up.
Dude, for sure.
Nice to have you, brother. Nice to have you.
So, Hunter, how was your day, man? Did you get anything done?
Today was about as cool as a pot of boiling water. Good old holiday weekends, people trying to get stuff squeezed in. And then, it just so happens a lot of people go on vacation before the day before the holiday weekend starts. So, putting out fires, it is what it is. To Chad's point, got a little bottle of Jameson Black, ready for football season, doing what I can. So, all in all, it's a solid day in freight, as always.
Jason, what about you, homie? How was your day?
Stressful. It's every day stressful when you're
no, that's right.
When you're the captain of the ship, man, you can make one fuck up, everything goes south. So if I don't break something, it's a good day. I had a lot of agents out today, so I was backing them up. Definitely had some last minute, hey, can you help me? I said, hey, how big is your checkbook? Didn't get very many responses after that answer, but listen, if you come at me sideways at noon or 1 o'clock up against the holiday, you're gonna pay for capacity. You gave me no time. It is what it is. So you got to pay to play.
Play to win.
Damn it, son.
That's the fucking way it is. Like it's not. If it's your first rodeo, you got a little bit of a shock in the checkbook today. But if it's not your first rodeo, don't play dumb. That's the worst. Like a couple customers like, what do you mean the rates are up, bro? It's a holiday. You're trying to get out of the office in the next half hour. You want me to pick up a little
I was doing that all day long. Especially Canadians, the ones that have the most holidays out of anybody in North America.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Wondering what's Labor Day? Yep. It's the one holiday we have before Christmas, dude. Like,
I'm gonna tell you a real conversation that I had with the carrier early today, and I got the messages to show it, but I got a load that I usually run. I usually pay my guy $620, but he has something else he's doing on Labor Day, and so I shot it out to a bunch of other people. And all these folks that ran this load before for like $600, $620, they're coming back like $750, and I'm like, dude, what's the deal? Like, oh, it's Labor Day. I said, listen. I said, I'm not Walmart. This is not Target or AutoZone. I don't pay no damn time and a half. If you choose to work a holiday, you work a holiday at the same rate that you would work at any other day. If you don't want to work, then sit your ass at home. And the person said, Rob, they're like, Rob, that's fucked up. I said, no, it's not fucked up. What's fucked up is you trying to screw me because of some federal holiday. That's not cool. And long story short, I booked the load for $650. That same person, but I was like, I'm not paying you $700, bro. Like $50 may not sound like a lot, but I only get $695. I'm not taking a loss. It ain't happening.
I had a customer that wanted me to pick up a load today and deliver it on Wednesday. I said, they said, what would that cost? They said, I won't touch it. Why don't you just let me pick it up on Tuesday and team it overnight? That way it's not sitting on a truck for 8 days. You know? And it was speakers, and they wanted it to sit in Chicago. It's like 105 in Chicago today. You're going to let that thing sit in a box truck for 6 days? Come on, guys. If it's not going to get
some high quality audio right there.
Yeah.
High equipment.
Bro, hey, you wouldn't believe, man. I bet Jason can attest to this, and probably Chad, man. You wouldn't believe the shippers that have like crazy high value freight that just like don't give a fuck. Like they're like, dude, go park in your front yard for 10 days. I don't care. Leave it unlocked. Doesn't matter to me. Like,
I'm not in the business of risk, right? My job is risk mitigation. So yeah, I could charge you a bunch of money, but claims, damages, theft, like, come on, guys, what are we really doing here? And not to mention, you're tying up a dude's truck for 6 days. Like, stop.
Yeah, let's leave a bunch of stereo equipment sitting in Chicago on a holiday.
Dude, that's a recipe for disaster.
Bro,
so while TQL might have been like, yo, sign us up, Jason's like, nah, bro, that's my money. Nope.
Oh my God.
Nope.
Oh. Anyway, hey, before we get too into talking shit with Jason, I'm gonna scroll through this little news article. You guys know I try to hit on one every day. I think this one, well, actually, I know this one's really relevant. I don't know what you fellas have heard, but we had a meeting about this earlier this week. And let me show this right here. So, there we go. Over holiday weekends, for some reason, you wouldn't think so, but holidays like Labor Day and 4th of July, Easter, it's super crazy. It's the weird ones. But cargo theft, I mean, it always rises. And it's kind of for what Jason just said. A lot of these shippers, they'll push out this freight that they have on Friday that they want to ship out on Monday, but they don't want to come and fuck with it on Tuesday. So they ship all this stuff out, and it sits and it's held over the weekend. And man, thieves know that those trucks are just sitting somewhere random, and they're going to pack that stuff. This article talks about some of the scams that they got going on. We, unfortunately, were actually victim to one of these, which it is a fictitious booking. So Jason's going to touch on this tonight because it has to do a double broker. So, you'll book a load with who you think is a carrier. It's actually a broker, or it could actually be a carrier, but it's a fake one. And then they'll go give it to another carrier, but give them a different destination somewhere that this person who booked the load can offload the freight and steal it. And apparently, that particular thing is really on the rise. And they say that the stuff that is really going to be targeted this time is going to be building materials because of the stuff that we had over in California, the hurricane, which not a lot of destruction, but still some people lost some shingles, so forth and so on. And then the hurricane that just happened in Florida. So those are some things that they're telling people, if you're hauling those items, watch out for it. And the article continues to just talk about things that shippers and brokers should do when we do some of these things. And that is, hey, send me a picture of the truck. Like, I want to see the name on the side of the truck, the DOT number, and tell your shipper, hey, I'm sending carrier ABC to pick up this load. So if carrier XYZ shows up, do not load that truck. And, it also talks about telling your customers, take pictures of the truck, take pictures of the driver, the license plate, do these things over holiday weekends to help mitigate that risk of your freight getting stolen. Or if it does get stolen, you've got some kind of evidence that shows, hey, this is the driver, the license plate, so forth and so on. So that's really it. Guys, as always, I always tell you, Commercial Carrier Journal, or that is our Carrier Commercial Journal. That's where I like my stuff. Everybody likes FreightWaves. I personally like these guys. They touch on stuff that FreightWaves just scoots over on because they like to talk about all the big stories. So, go look them up. You can see it's ccjdigital.com. I do not get paid for talking about these guys. I just think that they put out some really stellar fucking information in our industry. So go read the article, read what to look out for, and could help you not only for today, but in the future and stuff, both as a broker and a carrier. So there we go, and we'll jump into to just talking shit, because that's what's about to happen with Jason. we are
breaking down the boys of double brokering. Bad day to be a double broker.
Listen, so you just pulled up that article. I'm kind of this is sad, but I know where that picture came from in that article. It gets posted on CargoNet. CargoNet routinely puts that graphic up that tells you what's being stolen. They usually go a holiday behind. They'll forecast for the holiday.
I want to say that's where they got the data from, Jason. I'm pretty sure that's
probably
what it was.
July. Oh, it 100% is. I'm building a compliance course, and I use the data from CargoNet regularly because it's phenomenal. This year, the average stolen truckload is north of 200 grand. It's the highest it's ever been. So they're targeting value, and they know what's in it, because, like, let's face it, if you're just targeting a random truck at the truck stop, it could be dildos. You don't know what the hell's in there, dude. Like, what, like the fuck? I had a load stole it. Like, it was empty Gatorade bottles. That I'm sure when they opened that, they were like, oh, bro, what am I gonna do with this shit? So, like, it's organized. It's very, very organized. And I hate to say this, it's organized at the shipper level, the broker level, the carrier level. There's multiple layers of people embedded in this, because there's no way they're just randomly picking a truck out of the millions on the road and, not knowing what it is. So it's double brokering is bad, but the theft itself is on a level that nobody fully understands. They just don't.
Dude, I agree with you. I talked about this on one of our first shows. Well, I say that this is only like the 8th one, but anyway, like I said, my boss here, man, he had some freight stolen from him, man, that was held hostage. Like, I mean, literally, and he actually called the cops, man. My boss Kyle, you know him, Jason. Like, dude, he could find your mother in the rainforest. I mean, like, he is that good. But he found these people, man, called the cops, and they ended up literally kicking in the door and busting these folks. But they were trying to hold this guy's freight, $50,000 value, man. They were like, oh, give us $100 grand and we'll let you have your stuff. So it's crazy, man. Even the people that do their due diligence are falling victim to it.
Trust me, I'm a pretty vocal supporter of compliance and just the double broker movement and the need for there to be more common sense. And so a couple times a week, I'll get a random LinkedIn message. Hey, I have a double broker load. I have a hostage load. How would you handle it? My number one way that I help is I have a templated email, right? I hate to say this because if the bad guys are listening, it is what it is. But I have spent time procuring emails for the right people. And I've had one person try to hold my load hostage. So what I did was, I wrote them an email, right? I CC'd the FBI, the DOT, the FM, any 3 or 4 initial acronym, bitch, that shit was on there. Like, best believe. Now, I also took it a step further, and I included their insurance agent, right? Like, I went deep. And my response is, hey, now that we're all here at the party, let's introduce ourselves. We're going to get real cozy real quick. We have a video of who picked the load up. We know where it is. At this point, the ball's in your court. I got my freight back within 5 hours, and I've sent that email to multiple people, and almost every one of them who's had that situation has come back and said, our freight's back. So, I mean, you have to know what to say. Is it always going to work? No, because you know what? A lot of times they're not going to hold it hostage. They're just going to sell it. They don't care if you give them money. They're going to flip it. So the people that hold your stuff hostage are a special breed that I would like to meet in person, right? Like, those are the people that I would like to be introduced to. Like, it's one thing.
Put the compliance ninja name to work.
Let's go, bro. Like,
roundhouse right to the fucking.
I didn't pay a double broker 3 months ago, and he filed on my bond last week, and I said, good luck, and my bond denied the claim. I said, well, you fucked around and you found out, buddy. Like,
welcome to the game.
Like, yo, I'm not out here just talking bullshit. This is actually what I say I do, right? And it's like, if my bond company was like, yeah, you got to pay them, I'd have been like, well, I'd rather pay them out of pocket than you know, let the bond released. But my explanation to the bond company was, look, they double brokered it. We know they did. If they didn't pay the other carrier, I'm on the hook for double. Why should I be liable for that? My carrier broker agreement says you void payment and you signed it. That's a contract. My rate confirmation says don't do that. It's a contract. Shit, I told you on the phone. If you steal my freight, I'm coming for you. If you double broker my freight, you're not getting paid. Dead ass. Like, that's a conversation I have with people that I don't know.
No, for real. Hell
Like,
yeah.
why are we hiding? I'm not hiding. Like, I'm gonna tell you straight up, dude, if you steal my shit, I'm gonna come find you. Someone's gonna find you. So,
dude, I love, man, and I use this line for everything. And when I mean everything, like I have carriers, you know, that I had a guy last week, he messed up and did some shit, wasted 2 hours, and it ended up setting him back total a day, and he had to lose his other load. And he's like, well, you're going to pay me for this load I lost, or I won't deliver your freight. And I said, that's fine, bro. Go ahead.
Cool.
Like, cause I'm tracking you, and I know where you're going to be. I've got everything on you. Go ahead. I will call the cops, and then you can explain to them why you're holding my freight. And then if you steal it, I'm going to file a claim, and then I'm going to put a report on every fucking system that I have available to. You will never book another load in this business. And we're attached to a big company, man. I mean, the company we're attached to, they've been in business a long time, and they have some clout. So, but anyway, that's why I tell them, bro, hold it. Because, hey, also, you're the one that's got to sit with that stuff on your truck. Like, you know, do what
you're
you
just
do.
losing money. At that point, you're negotiating against yourself. My favorite's when they put it in writing. Like, dog, you didn't tell me on the phone, you put it in writing? Awesome. I will screenshot that shit and put you on blast. Like, come on, bro. Like, stop it. Stop it. So
That shit is funny, bro.
You're
so
not
right.
smart. Listen, they're not smart.
These are the times you want to hire like an ethical hacker and just like pull up their exact location where they sent the email from and be like, do I need to come up there, bro? I can get an airplane ticket real fast. Like,
the bad guys want to say, listen, I'll come find you. I say, you want help? I'll come to you. Dude, don't waste your money. Like, I'm a
where you at?
Don't waste your money. I'll come knock on your door, bro. About that. You're not hard to find.
Me outside.
Like, come on, man. Shit. It's
so, Jason, what like really got you on the double broker deal? Like, I mean, besides the obvious, like, was there like a pinnacle in your time as a broker that like someone ultimately fucked you and you were like, dude, it's my mission in life to get these sons of bitches?
Hell yeah. It cost me 30 grand 2 summers ago. I set up a carrier, 30 racks. Yeah. It cost me 30 grand over 3 loads. These guys got set up with us. Our compliance, I was an agent. Our compliance was non-existent. They sent in a packet. We did no verification. They weren't who they said they were. They pretended to be a company that nobody could get a hold of. They took my freight. They double brokered it for 3 times what I paid them. We hit them with a quick pay. So we paid them on these 3 loads, and then they disappeared. We didn't know anything about it. 3 months later, the real carrier came out of the woodworks knocking on the customer's door. Customer's like, yo, we've already paid you for these loads. Like, what's up? Well, so not only did I pay them, I had to turn around and pay the other 3 carriers triple what the rate was. So I got rocked for, let's say, 4 times the line haul, and I lost the 3 customers. And I went, okay, cool. I'll take that one on the chin. Never again. Like, it's one thing if you double broker my freight. It's really hard to catch everybody, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let somebody get set up with me that's not who they say they are. Right? Like, my compliance checklist is 25, 30 deep. There's layers. And as we start veering off, it's like, whoo, nope.
What kind of systems do you use, Jason, to like check your stuff? Because we have a pretty stout little checklist we go through too.
Yeah. Well, compliance, the vetting compliance is Carrier 411 and my carrier packets. 10 years of experience and a little, dash of common sense.
Yeah.
So that's my multi-layered approach. But you can't rely just on vetting, because once they get in, your compliance has to be nonstop all day, every day, from upfront vetting to the brokers who are, securing capacity and dispatching, right? Because that's really where you catch them, is in the middle. But at the end of the day, if you're not looking at the bills to see whose name's on that shit and verifying that driver and that phone number where they told you picked it up, I'll call the driver off that. Like, hey, I don't know who are you? You weren't supposed to be on this load. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, who do you work for? Oh, okay. Well, were you paid? No, we weren't paid. Well, great. How much did you take this load for? Because now I'm gonna pay you. That's how it works. Like, I mean, so yeah, I mean, the carrier 411 thing is mandatory. Like, I don't use any other compliance tools other than 411. I've been using it for years. It's really the standard.
I'm about to drop some game on you, Jason.
No.
I'm telling you, dog. I'm about to drop some game on you.
Well, dude, it cracks me up, Jason. Like about Carrier 411, I've seen you posting it, but like these carriers, the Glendale gang, as I like to call them, the Armenian mafia, which is this is real shit, man. But like,
I grew up in Glendale.
You see, like 3 days in a row for months at a time of this double broker shit, but you know. Not everybody uses that, especially, you know, the big dogs like you brought up TQL. We didn't have Carrier 411. It was like whoever calls on it and they're not blacklisted, you say you got a truck, yeah, we're going to run it with you. And it blows me away.
TQL has a stupid amount of money. They allow for, I hate to say it this way, but let's look at it this way. They make so much money, they have to pay taxes. They're okay with some bad debt. They get to write that off. That's a write-off for them. They have the money to pay it. Now you're talking about my personal money that feeds my kids in that other room. Shit's personal. It's personal.
Yeah, exactly.
So I also run an agent-based company. So I have to have a lot of faith and trust in my agents to do their due diligence while they're dispatching. I'm the one that approves the carriers. And my agents hate me because I'm a dick about it. And I tell them straight up, no, absolutely not. Like I won't let a carrier with Progressive or Lloyd's of London Insurance haul any of my freight because they're notorious for not paying claims, and they just don't cover theft at all. If you have a Progressive insurance policy, you're not touching my freight. Sorry.
Let me touch on a few things what you said. So I'm fortunate. I've only had one load that I for sure knew was double brokered. And I did exactly what you said, Jason. Like things didn't align up. This customer, he always just had a habit of asking, hey, whose truck, what's your truck that's coming? Because he had, several other people that be there. So he knew what was going on. Yeah. And when the guy showed up, he, said, hey, this doesn't match. I called the guy and said, hey, who'd you book this through? And he told me, I said, what did you book it at? This guy booked it at $800 less than what I booked it with this other supposed carrier. So I did what you said, man. I ended up getting the guy set up. I had to get him overrided because he'd only been in business 30 days. But
that's why he was able to take it for so cheap, though. The double brokers prey on the guys who have the new MCs because no broker will give them freight. Yeah. So we've created that niche market. We've created it. Here's what I don't understand. If you're a carrier and another carrier is selling you a load, come on, red flags, right? Number one. Two, how are they even advertising that? A carrier can't post a load on that. So they either have a network of people, in the gray behind the scenes, or they have a dirty brokerage that they filter their stuff through. So, there's layers to it there.
Yeah, that's what happened to me, man. Is it was a broker who they had a carrier side, but the name was completely different and stuff. But they booked it through us with their carrier, and then they did broker it out under the broker MC to the other guy. But
I won't set up full MCs. That's a no-no for me. If you're a carrier and you have a brokerage, you're not in my system.
Well, that's what I say. They were two completely different names, two different addresses. So like we didn't catch it. But either way, I mean, it all worked out, man. Like that guy got screwed, and he did what you said or tried to do what your guy did and file on our bond. And it's like, dude, I've got so much evidence. Don't even waste your time, bro. Just don't do it.
I tell them, go ahead and enjoy the process.
Yeah.
It helps my bond company know that I'm diligent, but also my carrier broker agreement and my rate confirmations are airtight. Like it doesn't just say on my rate confirmation, if you double broker or interline my stuff or partially break the seal, it says it voids payment. But if you read my actual carrier broker agreement, it says it voids payment to anybody. So technically, I don't have to pay the carrier that hauled it because I don't have a contract with you. I do when I find out who it is.
Yeah.
But sometimes those people are in cahoots, right?
That's true.
And let's face it, if you're a carrier and let's say you're running a lane, it's $1,000 all day every year, and someone offers it to you at $3,000, you're an idiot. Yeah. Why would they pay you $3,000? Because they're not going to pay you, and then you're going to come looking for me to pay you $3,000. Hell no, nah, dude, we're not doing that. So if we can't come to an amicable resolution to pay that other carrier a reasonable rate, if it's a couple $100, north or south of the rate, I'm there. But if it's thousands, you can pound sand, homie. You have culpability in this environment too. You don't get a pass. Your ignorance doesn't give you a pass. Not in my book. No, so I wrote in my book how to protect myself.
Yeah, and I'll also say I'm progressive. It's so funny you said that. So I run a flatbed truck, on as a carrier, and we had Progressive when we first started out. Which we talked about predatory businesses that support our industry, and Progressive's one of them, bro. They are so fucking predatory.
Well, they'll give anybody insurance.
So we ended up having brokers that wouldn't deal with us because we had Progressive. So we moved away from them.
Yep.
Long story short, I booked a load with a guy on it's a vertical farming customer. And so their product is extremely high value as far as produce and such. But the guy took the load and it was supposed to be at 34 degrees. He turned his reefer off at one stop, and the other stop, although it was right around the corner, dude, it was 90 something degrees in New York City that day. And by the time he got there, his temp read at 60. Yep. They denied the load. We went through Progressive. Progressive goes, oh, well, he doesn't have this particular amount of insurance to cover this freight or to cover this claim. And so we're not doing it. Dude, I immediately emailed Kyle and said, bro, I do not want one other Progressive insurance carrier on my stuff. Like, I want everyone to check. I do not want them hauling my shit because of this one instance right here. So
absolutely
crazy touched on that. A lot of brokers, dude, have, like you said, Lloyd's of London and Progressive are like blacklisted. They don't give a shit. You've been in business 25 years. You got those people as your insurer. You are not getting freight booked.
There's 3 people I refuse to work with: Landstar, Progressive, and Lloyd's of London. You might as well put them in the shit bucket over here because they're not hauling my freight.
Landstar does insurance?
No, Landstar is a company. Us either. Have you ever looked at Landstar's freight cards? Dude,
I was about to touch on them, man. Dude, it's these cats that have all these trucks and they can get signed up with anybody.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a owner operator, and that flies with Landstar just because they have so many trucks and they run owner operators. And I have worked with some people, Chad can contest to this, that have 600 trucks. We're going to send one of our guys in there to pick it up. Doesn't mean it's going to have that number on the side of it that you need, that MC number. Doesn't mean it's messed up. It's like with dispatchers. What's the difference between a dispatcher and a broker? Oh yeah,
a lot.
Don't get me started on that.
No, no, bro. Do not.
Well, I mean, yeah. There is a lot.
Get me started on that shit. Don't get me started.
But it's like, what is the trustworthiness between us as brokers and cats like that if I had the money to buy a truck, I would all day long, because that'd make life a lot easier. But like people that like you said, Landstar have there are good Landstar agents out there, but
there are.
I won't
once again the word agent.
The problem is they have no problem lying to you, telling you that it's an asset, because they have a dual MC. They're one of the old grandfathered MCs where you look it up and it says carrier/broker. You can't do that anymore. You have to have a separate entity.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of gray, but there's nothing stopping them from turning around and putting it back on the open board. So
if FMMCA's listening, please do something.
Bro, all they're going to do is set up a damn hotline. That's all they do. So,
but they're going to turn around and even if you split the MCs and made them separate entities, they're still going to have that connect there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me use my cousin, brother, sister.
If I hear the word sister company one more time, I'm gonna smack somebody, dude. Stop with that nonsense, dude.
Yeah. Let me call
Jason here. Let's talk about the difference between a double broker and a third-party dispatcher. And do you use third-party dispatchers?
No, absolutely not. Hells to the no. I'll tell you a bunch of reasons why. It's a gray area that allows them to double broker without any kind of visibility. That's not even my complaint with them. They don't have any loyalty to me or the truck because they get paid a piece of the rate. So what's to stop them from handing that load back a minute before my pickup because they found one for $100 more? That's going to pay them an extra $12. there's no loyalty, and I can't risk my reputation with my customers on a what if, right? So it just doesn't fly for me. They're not honest. They don't have the visibility like a true dispatcher will, because they're dispatching 70 trucks, you know. And I'm gonna be honest, man, this is gonna sound racist, promise it's not. I ain't met one fucking dispatcher that spoke English. So like, give me somebody and I'll work with you, but nah, bro, we're not. No.
So I want to touch on what we do, and then to try to eliminate double brokers, and hopefully maybe this helps you guys, or you know, anyone that's watching this now or is going to watch it later. But man, our protocol is when we deal with somebody, we get all the driver's information, including the phone number. We have a phone validation system. We run that phone number to make sure that it is a sale. If you give us a VOIP, and this is the number one thing with double brokers, they'll give you a VOIP and say, oh, my carrier doesn't like to give out a cell phone, but you can send tracking to it. That's true. You can send a tracking link to it because you can accept text, but it doesn't track because a VOIP is stuck to a server that is in one place. Yep. So we do that. We use Highway, Carrier 411, Freight Guard. We look up DAP reviews. We look up truck stop reviews. We call the carrier and confirm, hey, do you know that this person is booking this load for you? Right. We also, Terry, what's up, Terry? We also call the main office number and confirm that that this person works for them, because something that Jason, I know you know, and Chad probably you, but there's a lot of these people that want to buy MC numbers, and they'll accumulate like 30 or 40 of them, book fraudulent freight underneath it, and you know, take your shit.
That's the Glendale fucking, what is it, supermassive 3PL corporation that will have one truck, and dude, I forget what the name of the 3PL is, but it is out of Glendale. But they literally have like 5,000 MC numbers, and once one gets burned, they'll go on to the next one.
You can see how many MC numbers are given each week. It's 35 on average. It's 500 a day. So on average, it's
insane.
3,500 trucking companies are popping up a week. Hell no, come on! Like, why are we just handing them out like candy? And so, like, you know, I used to hear, well, we want to buy an old MC because, you know, it's not a 1.5 or you know, one of the new ones. The problem is, even if you bought a new MC and you rolled it over, the start date is still today. Yeah. It still shows active for 1 day. It doesn't roll over to when that was initially active, because, you know, if you lose your authority and you reactivate it, it doesn't retroactively go back. It starts to your new authority date. So like that whole idea of, well, I'm gonna buy this old MC, go ahead. It doesn't do you any good. Doesn't do you any good.
So that's, I've seen that a lot, like where the lapse is, and they're like, oh yeah, it was just like our insurance or something, you know. And
man. You bought
it. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, Jason, what resources, if you could talk about all the resources you use to vet your carriers on the phone with them as a broker, and what red flags do you turn away?
Well, all right. So the first thing that I look at is the area code, right? I've been doing this a long time. I know area codes. If your area code doesn't match the state you're incorporated in, immediately I'm like, all right, let's check this out. That's usually an independent dispatcher. That's the red flag there. And then I go down that set of questions. I look at carrier 411. You know, I look at their email address. Is the email coming from their email address? Do they have a Gmail or a company website address? If you have a company website address and I get an email from a Gmail, I don't even respond to you. I don't, like, no time for you. So I kind of go down the list. I look at freight guards, how long they've been in business. You know, my rule of thumb, at least a year, at least an inspection. Those are no-nos. If one or both of those aren't met, we're not talking. We're not talking.
You're the only other person I heard say that, Jason. Son of a bitch.
Now, every once in a while, I'll catch a box truck who is just an owner-operator. But if that's the dude I'm talking to, and I go, yo, you got to send me a picture of your license. And if they don't hesitate, I'll fuck with them. If they hesitate, deuce. Like, you don't have the right to ask for that. Well, I don't know who the hell you are. You could be in India, dog. Like, I don't know who you are. So,
dude, another thing too is their names. I've had Glendale people reach out to me with their name, Randy Orton. I told Rob about this. There was one company that all of their names were WWE wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's just ridiculous. But yeah, those owner operators that are out there, man, like if you can get them on the phone and it's just some good old boy that's trying to make a buck out there, I will work with you all day long. But
I'm not opposed to working with owner operators who use a dispatch service. I just tell the dispatch service, have the dude call me directly from the number from Carrier 411. I'll book the load with him. If you still get the kickback down the road, cool. But I'm not dealing with you. That's all there is to it.
It's not hard to do good business.
Nah, man, it's and I've educated some owners like, why won't you use a dispatch service? And I'm like, you don't see what I see. You know, they lie. First of all, they're more susceptible to lying because their paycheck depends on a higher line haul rate. So you catch them in a lie. If you lie to me and it's your first load and I don't even mess with you, man. Like if I smell BS, I'm going to call it and I'm going to politely hang up and move on. I don't have time to nickel and dime with these knuckleheads. But I'm not afraid
shit looks like shit. It's probably shit.
Yeah. So now the deep no for me is any freight guard that is back soliciting, double brokering, in transit modification, fraudulent activity. I'll read freight guards. I'll give guys a chance if their freight guards are no call, no show. Like, bro, you got a freight guard for not showing up. Okay, shit happens. Or like if you handed a load back and you have 900 trucks and 12,000 inspections, that's a one-time deal. That's not a deal breaker for me. But if you have one truck, no inspections, 12 freight guards, you don't speak English, you're John Smith in a Jeep, like, bro, get the fuck out of here with that.
Dude, hey, I want to touch on the name thing, bro. I was telling Hunter this earlier, Jason, is how they're like all the foreigners, you can always catch them because they have two first names. It's like Bob, Robert. It's like where did the stigma come from that all Americans are named like fucking Jason Bob? You know what I mean? Like, where did this shit come from?
Dude, if Mohammed calls me, and that's not racist, I'm just saying, if old boy in India calls me and he goes, hey, I'm Jake Smith, dead ass, the first thing I say is spell Jake.
Yeah.
And then I just pause. And I'm like, yo, like, how many seconds do you need to spell your 4 initial name, dog? Like, that's what I thought. If we want to start over, tell me your real name and we could build trust. But when you come out the gate and then you tell me your name's Steve, you can't spell Steve. I'm going to trust you with my freight? Come on, man. Like, no.
I thought it was nuts. Talking about the names, I thought it was nuts. When I hired this guy, he came on, he worked for a logistics company here in the area. And we were talking about, carrier vetting and selection. And I asked him, just like I asked you, I wanted to know what his red flags were he looks for. And he kind of taught me one thing. And he said, if you look on Carrier 411, when you pull up their MC and you look at the name of the individual who owns that authority, he looks for YAN at the end of the last name. And I said, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Now I swear about 5-6 times a day, I see YAN at the at the end of last names and just kind of hang up.
So here's a little bit. I grew up in Glendale, California. My first phone number was an 818 phone number. I went to high school with these kids. They were committing credit card fraud in 7th grade. I knew the deal way back in the day. Now that I'm older, like, dude, they call me from that 818 number. I know what street they live on. I know what high school they went to. I talk the talk. I know the lingo. I'm just not, I knew to stay away from them.
That is the definition of irony.
they were gangsters.
I hear Jason. Hey, did you ever go to Bebop's Corner Store? Who owns Bebop's Corner Store?
Yo, I've had some dudes be like, yo, I live right here. I'm like, you went to Hoover High School, didn't you? You were a tornado. And they paused and they were like, there's a fucking camera in here? What's this dude talking about? I'm like, bruh, you're not supposed to know that. Like, dog, I grew up in the neighborhood. Like,
dude,
what's going on?
I want to introduce Terry here, man. Terry and I met through I don't know if you know him, Jason, but his name is Sam May. He's real big on Facebook. He's a dispatcher, and he is one of the few people out there that teaches folks how to dispatch properly and legally. But I met Terry through him. Terry's an old driver, and now he does some dispatching with another friend of ours, Nora, and they live in Oklahoma. We're not going to hold that against him. But Terry he's an old head, man. So, he just has nothing but fury and hatred towards all this bullshit that goes on now.
Dad, I had a nice conversation with Dad. As a matter of fact, Rob, I am going to send over the what they want me to do. You know, they've been blocking these Pakistanis' IP addresses and kicking them off the service. Well, their newest thing right now is they're selling DAT services, reselling.
I've seen that. And Selectus load boards.
Yep. And I'm on a mission to destroy every fucking piece of shit dispatcher that doesn't live in the United States. Fuck them. They shouldn't be in our supply chain. There's no reason.
Amen.
Especially if they're fucking living overseas.
Here's the thing, too.
I'm done with this shit, man. I'm done playing nice. They're the reason, one of the big reasons our rates are fucked up.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yep.
It blows my fucking mind. It really does. And, you know, anybody that is out there that's actually given to these people and you know they don't live in the United States, you're part of the problem too.
So here's another piece of my compliance. Here's two little secrets, or the three secrets that I have. So my carrier packets logs their IP address. So I check every IP address. If you're in America, but you sign it overseas, you're black flagged. We're not even talking by. The second thing that we do, and I train my agents to do this, when I post a load on DAT and I get an email, I'm immediately on DAT running their MC to see if they even have a subscription. If they don't, deuces. So no, we're done. So if you're not playing fair and you're sliding in the back door, you're not touching my freight.
Hey,
So
how do you do that, Jason? How do you check if they have a DAT subscription? Like, please share that.
Just go to the DAT directory and run their MC. They'll have a profile.
Oh,
Mine doesn't. It doesn't have an MC, but I've got a profile up.
Well, do you have a broker or a carrier MC or no?
Nope.
See,
Okay.
I hate that shit right there. Hate that.
Here's the deal, though. You may not have now. You'll have a profile because now they're letting verified dispatch.
I've had a profile ever since I opened my DAT account.
Yeah.
All right. And man, I'm not against brokers that don't work with dispatchers because I've had it happen to me. Oh, you're a dispatcher. You know, fuck you. That's fine. I don't want to move those people's freight anyway. But, you know, people like myself that are here, they're actually representing the drivers that don't live in Timbuktu, Pakistan. It blows my mind. Rob, are you looking at that, what I sent you? I sent you what I sent to DAT tonight. I went.
Dude, hey, you know, it's funny that you sent this to me, Jason. I want to know if you've been getting these, bro. I've actually, I've been getting a lot of these in my email lately, man. And it's this exact thing. It's this complaint documentation, and people forward it to me, and it's just like this, exactly what you put, bro. And it lists all these people's stuff, you know, about these people that are scamming and using false MCs and all this stuff like that. Jason, have you been getting those?
So I haven't gotten that. What I get every day from DAT is the phishing fake. You know, you have a bad review and you want to respond to it. Click here in this link, and it's a phishing email to get in and steal your password, so they can turn around and either post freight or, you know, sell that subscription to someone else. So.
That blows my mind, man.
Well, this thing that he sent me is there are people like him that file complaints with DAT, and they post all their information, and then these carriers, like Terry, they'll forward it to our entire email stream. My email, my bosses, all of our operations say, hey, we want you guys to be aware that we filed a complaint against these people, and we put them in our database. I've probably got 2 of them today. So I will applaud the carriers out there that are like on this shit, man. They're saying, hey, these people are fraudulent.
Yeah, but
we need help. We need help. I welcome regulation for independent dispatchers. This is insane. I've been doing this in one way or the other since 93, 94. And what is going on right now with all these foreigners that are getting involved in our supply chain, you got to think about it. If we ever go to war, these foreign countries know where our military bases are at because they have rate confirmations. They know where our facilities are at. I mean, we're stupid anyway because we put everything on the damn internet. But what I'm getting at more than anything else is these people they're not paying taxes. They're taking money out of my driver's pockets. They're taking money out of Jason. They're taking money out of your pocket. They're taking money out of everybody that's in this room. And it's not right. It's not right. I welcome, if they want me to get a bond, I'd do it in a heartbeat, just so the slimy con artists from overseas would be stopped.
Yeah, but getting a bond's cheap though. You could pay $1,100 a year for a bond. So even if they forced you to get them, they would pay it over there too. That won't stop the problem.
Something has to give. I mean,
nothing's going to. I mean, just like Jason and so many other people, man, they're all against the double broker, and even with the level of scrutiny that Jason has and we have over here, you know. These people, they just go to the other ones, and I'll tell you, ones that I don't know, but I think that they go after is these new brokers, the ones that have an N rating. And if any of you guys are on DAT, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, they have an N rating, they have no credit, no DTP, which is days to pay. And they go after these guys, say, hey, we're going to run your freight, and then that's where the fraud really starts to happen. So the sucky part is until every one of us brokers, which it'll never happen, just like the carriers can never come together, but until there's a level of standard and screening that is almost surefire, I don't think we'll ever do it, man. And Terry, like you said, it's all about technology. We put everything over the internet. You know, our team, half of our team lives in the Philippines, and they just use a VoIP to access American websites, and it's just that easy, man. You know, there's no way to stop it.
I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but there's got to be a way to stop these people. There has to be, because they're running scams, man. I mean, and I don't have the answers, but what I sent you is a start. And I need allies to get rid of these sons of bitches.
Here's the thing, though. Like, technology works in their favor as well, because in my compliance brain, I pay attention to IPs. So you might be from overseas, but you could have a VPN that shows you in New York City. So it really, I mean, first of all, like, let's be real. If you're stupid enough not to protect yourself as a criminal, you deserve to be told you're a criminal, get the fuck out of here, right? Like, you make it easy for me to catch you, bye, but I have that conversation with him. I don't just let them off the hook.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
I recorded an 8-minute conversation a month ago with a double broker.
I just talked about that today.
Man, that's how I found you, Jason. That's how I found you. That's the most beautiful LinkedIn video of all time.
Oh, y'all got me fucked up. People don't know how bad it is. This dude called me on a Friday. I went through my checklist, and I was like, listen, homie, you're a double broker. It took him an hour and a half on the phone. He finally told me what's up. So I freight guarded his ass. He called me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for 3 weeks. Take that freight guard down, man. I can't feed my family. I say, you're a criminal, homie. Like, and the next time he called me, I took my phone out and recorded it. And I was just like, what is this idiot going to say? And like, people would IM me and they're like, is that real? Yes. Yes, it is.
Jason, dude, I think you have access to our private chat. Bro, you got to find that video and you got to post the link. Dude, I remember watching that shit. That is what made me fall in love with you, bro.
Dude, that's how I got in touch with you, Jason. I was like, this guy fucking knows what's up.
I'm not playing. And I thought, see, here's the benefit of owning my own brokerage. Nobody's going to tell me I can't do that. Nobody.
That's beautiful, man.
That's freedom.
That's honestly what was one of, like, me and Rob when we were starting up the lounge, like, saw that video and it's like, let's fucking bring down the pieces of shit in this industry straight up. Like, this is what it's all about, man. Everyone's talking about showing graphs that we don't know what it means. Like, let's get this shit together again.
So that dude got so mad at me. he threatened to call Dat and leave bad, he's like, I'm going to leave negative reviews on you everywhere you go. I was like, I'm not worried about you, but it got me thinking. So I called Dat and I said, yo, watch this video. And I sent them the video and they were like, oh God. And I was like, he had a Dat subscription. I'm like, you got to take this dude down. 24 hours later, I got an email. He's been removed. I said, hey, here we go. It's about time.
Start.
So, let me see if I can find it.
But hey, Terry Gizmo.
I'm looking it up right now, Jason. I am searching your shit right now.
Terry, to your point about these people overseas getting access to our military bases. One of the companies I worked for before, I helped get a setup with the SDDC, to run military freight. And it takes a lot. Like I had to go get a notary. I had to send in my ID. I had to give all of our information, all of our assets, yearly. Like it was a big process. How are these people getting past that firewall?
I already found it, Jason. I already found it.
There you go.
I have no idea, man. If I knew, all I know is that these people should not be in they shouldn't be in logistics, simply because of the fact 99% of them don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
I don't know how many brokers that I've talked to that, you speak English? Thank God.
Yeah.
That's a big plus. But I mean, like even me as a broker, I have that access. But even the carriers that I hired to go to these bases picking up military freight, like how, like they have to check something at some point. Like,
well, my point on that is things don't look very good in the United States and around the world right now.
Nope.
And
we got one more year until November. That's all I'm saying.
Please.
The only time I'll say the Crimson Tide needs to come back.
We ain't going to get on that. We're talking about double brokers.
I know.
That's double brokering for the United States of America, man.
Well, it's just it doesn't make any sense to let people that don't live in your supply chain screw with it. I mean, especially the food. And I mean, come on. There are so many things that can go on. And you know as well as I do, there are people living here right now that are planning things to hurt you, me, and your families. What's this?
Do we want to play? We're going to play some of Jason's fucking video.
This is it.
Oh my God. I hope y'all can hear. I hope y'all can hear this. This is our test run, Hunter. Let's see if we can hear it, bro.
I agree with you on everything, but my job is not coming because I know it's coming.
Full screen that joint. Yeah. Hit that full screen, bottom right.
Hold up, bro.
This is the greatest phone call.
Oh man,
greatest.
Dude, that shit. His voice, the shit you say to him, Jason.
buddy, please.
Oh man, please fucking work. Please work. Oh my God, bro.
So we are getting scammed also. I agree.
Come on.
Also, I agree with you on everything, but my job is not scamming because I know scamming is to not pay the carriers.
Yeah,
the drivers are running 3,000 miles and not getting paid.
So you
just understand me. I just need to keep a foot on my table.
Well, then get a legal
As
job.
an Armenian boy.
Get a legal job. You just told me that you don't have a real truck, but you have an MC number and you double broker freight. And you're asking me to help you by removing this freight card because you can't feed your family. Well, you have 8 people working for you. You're clearly an organized criminal organization. And for me to remove
what you are telling me about right now, Jason.
It's fraud.
On Friday, it was another person.
Yeah, no, you didn't tell me you didn't actually have a truck on Friday, sir. Now it's a different story.
But you did know everything. You told me to send you the agreement for the dispatching. I told you we didn't even have an agreement.
Right. Yeah, I'm not.
I don't want to lie to you. I told you all the truth on Friday, thinking that you might help us, that you grow up with Armenian guys. You know how they are going. They have good guys and bad guys also.
But you're a bad
you're
guy.
a good guy trying to feed a family.
But you're doing things illegally, unethically, and immorally, and you want me to put my name on that. That's not how this works. You must not know who I am.
You will not put your name. If you delay the report, nobody will see that you ever reported, Mike. company.
Yeah, but you got freight carded in 15 days, my guy. Every other person who catches you is going to freight card
Yeah,
you
because
too.
your kind of smart person is sitting there and catching everybody.
So is everybody
If
else.
you didn't catch us, we will continue like easily.
I'm not going to go to sleep good tonight knowing that I removed a freight card that allowed you to violate an industry that I'm passionate about.
That's why I even sent you a chocolate cake. You didn't give me the right address to send it. I sent it to your office address. I don't know who take it and who eat it. Like God with them.
Jason, I just want to know, how was that chocolate cake, bro?
Dude, he sent it to my virtual address.
Oh my God.
I have a virtual address. I called my receptionist. I was like, yo, if you get something in the mail that's chocolate, throw it away. Don't eat it.
Oh,
I'm
my
crying.
God.
I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. Oh my God.
I'm dying.
Greatest video of all time.
That
Bro sent me a
shit.
cake. Listen, if you knew who I was, he should have dangled tacos in front of me. I might have lied to him and said I'd take it down, but fucking a cake? What are we, like 16? Like, what are we doing here, dude?
Chocolate cake.
I'm just throwing this out there. If you talk to this guy, please. I love cake.
Oh, dying.
Oh my God.
That's how bad it is. That legit happens. And I was like, you know what? This guy called me every day begging me to take it down. And eventually I was just like, no one's going to believe me. So I just recorded that shit, threw it on the internet, went about my day, and the shit popped off. It was go time from there. So, you know.
Dude, I wonder.
Beautiful.
I exited the thing, but I wonder how many views that's got. Because I'm telling you, Chase, like I've had
That one hit like 100,000.
Bro, hey, I'm gonna tell you, that shit set you off. I literally had a lady today that when I tagged you in that post or whatever, like she friended me and she said, "Hey, I see that you're friends with Jason. I would like to connect." And I guess she does compliance too. I'd have to go find her name, but like it was crazy, dude. That like people know who you are now, man. It's look at you, fucking LinkedIn famous.
Bro, I sell my #1 selling T-shirt on Lowboy is "fuck double brokers." So like, I had to take down the stop calling me TQL one because a couple of my customers got a little mad at me. But bro,
I want one of those fuck double broker shirts.
Dude, I got them for you, bro. Like, and we donate the majority of the money from that site. Me and my son own it. We donate it to veterans. I mean, it's just a thing we do for fun. But fuck, bro, why not hustle it to the community? You know.
I want to talk to you about that, bro. Are you a veteran, Jason?
I am not. No, my brother was a veteran. My uncles, my grandfather. I was a criminal thug when I was in my teenage years. The government wanted no piece of Jason.
So was I.
I'm a patriot. I'm a patriot, bro. I'm very patriotic. You know, to Terry's point, I'm not un-American. I just prefer pro-America. So, you know, I would rather hire veterans for top dollar than outsource it if I don't have to. And if I make a little less money, I'm still making money. I don't need to be greedy.
And
Jason, I'm going to tell you, brother, the greed, I don't know where it's coming from. There are still good loads out there.
Yeah.
Still good loads.
Yeah.
On average, my rates are $3.50, $4 a mile. I run flatbeds.
Yep.
And we run the Midwest. And
that's juicy territory right there.
Yeah, you know, you just got to sit, watch, and wait. When something comes up, you call on it, book it, you know. But what really gets me is I'm hearing a lot about these drivers that are going into locations, wrong equipment.
Yeah.
They're being dispatched by people that don't know what they're doing. Going back to that point. Yes, there needs to be some regulation. I'm all for that. I've watched my industry dispatch and go to shit. And anybody that's a broker right now, we're pretty much hated. A lot of the brokers, you know, they don't want to work with dispatchers. They want to work with a dispatcher that's actually employed with the company. And, you know, I dig that. I can understand that. But if I have a truck and I work for a company exclusively, I might have other trucks on the side. As long as the freight gets delivered and I'm an American citizen and I'm located here, you shouldn't have a problem working with me or any other independent dispatcher as long as you can verify. What I do when I'm booking freight is I tell these people, okay, yes, I'm an independent dispatcher. I'm working exclusively. I have contracts. You know, my guys, they can't use 3 and 4 dispatchers to find a load. And that's, you know, I won't work with somebody that only wants to use me for just a little short amount of time. My experience, my money, and the money I'm able to get through my connections speaks for itself. I recommend all brokers, if you're going to work with an independent dispatcher, make sure you can get a hold of the owner.
Yeah.
And the driver.
Yep.
And
Well,
if you're a driver looking for an independent dispatcher, you got to get references. You can't just take somebody's word anymore or any of that. You need references, hard copy references of people they work with right now, brokers they work with, what kind of relationships. A lot of these drivers, they don't know anything.
I'll say, Terry, and to something also that Jason had touched on and you're touching on, like, I don't mind dealing with dispatchers. I don't, but like Jason said, like I'm pro America, man. And when I talk to when my team takes options and they send it to me and I see anything that says dispatch anywhere in the email, I automatically ask them, do they have an accent? And again, like Jay said, this isn't being racist or I guess I don't want to say discriminatory because in a way I guess it is, but to me it's a red flag, man. Like, I understand that people immigrate over here, but most people that I've dealt with that are not, Americans, American accent, that speak great English, it's always a problem, man. I don't think I've ever had one load completed by a dispatcher that is not fluent in English, and that sucks to say, but that's just the case. The unfortunate part, Terry, is also like Jason said, it's hard to verify with you guys, and it's hard to trust with dispatchers because I have had this happen where I book a load and then 3 hours before the load's supposed to pick up, they cancel. And I know exactly what it is. They give you some bullshit excuse about my truck broke down or whatever. And it's like, no, you found another load that pays more, or your driver got on the board, saw another load, pays more, and you're canceling my shit. And also, like Jason said, there are no guidelines, but laws that really affect dispatchers. And even if we gave some of them the same standards as brokers have, the shitty part about it is none of these bond agencies, FMCSA, none of these people do their due diligence in making sure that you're actually a legal entity. And so there's so much information and data that you have to scroll through and go through to figure out who's on the up and up. It's hard. But I will say, Terry, if a dispatcher calls me with your fucking voice and your accent, I'm like, oh, I'm booking this load. This country son of a bitch.
All day.
He's gonna deliver this load, no problem.
Here's the problem, though, is when you work with a dispatch service, like Terry was saying, you should have references. I'm not checking references. I don't have time for that.
I'm not either. I feel you.
Well,
My compliance is already freaking this long. I'm not making phone calls, checking references, because I don't trust those people talking on the phone either. Like, it's just, I feel bad.
Well, I'm talking as far as the carriers go. If you're a carrier and you're looking for somebody, don't just pull the first person you get off the internet, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to hustle you. If you can't back up what you're saying, and man, I tell people it takes me 30 days to figure out how you're running, how your truck operates, as far as what you like, what you don't like, all these different things. And it takes a while to learn. If you're a dispatcher taking on another driver like myself, at one time, I had 20 trucks. I had to hire staff. I hated it. Won't ever do it again. But Nora who is my right hand here, I stole her from Landstar. She was a Landstar agent, and dadgum right, I brought her in. I trained her. She's a good dispatcher. There are good ones out there that care and they want these guys to make money. And then there's a lot of bags of shit that just they run in scams left and right.
Well, yeah, to that point too, man, like a lot of these people, you know, we're talking about foreigners, these offshore cats, like whether they be in bumfuck Constantinople, they're getting better with not having that accent. So it's a little bit harder to tell. They get a lot better at speaking English. You know, there's a difference between a guy that calls you and says his name's Sonny, but we all know his name's not Sonny. And you can tell because it's as thick as some cream right there.
And I'm not discriminatory in that way. My wife.
Oh, no, absolutely not. But
I mean, she's Asian. And, you know, I mean, I've
gotten burned by some Asians. And not trying to be racist either, man. But, like, it's really, you know, if I call you, if I can get you on the phone and you're talking and you know what you're talking about, that's a difference maker. You know, like you're saying, if you can I talk to your driver? Yeah. If they say no, that's a huge red flag. If they say, yeah, here's his number, can I text you? Whatever. That's exactly what I need. I am not discriminatory except anything but bad business because I am not in the business of doing bad business. It's not hard to do good business. Logistics is easy if you do it right.
Right. If you do it right the first time, you don't have to go back and repeat it.
Exactly. We're all trying to make money here. If the market's bad, we all are swimming in the pile of the shit that is a bad market. Let's just get through this together because we all know, man, it's a long game. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
I don't think the market is that bad. I really don't.
I hate to break up the party, but I'm going to try to bring it back to what our topic is. I honestly, personally, I love dispatchers. I deal with several of them, but I'm really good. I'm really good at vetting people. Because I was a driver for so long, so I fucking talk driver, and I mean, not to float my boat, but it's really hard to float one past me. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. However, let's talk about something else that has to do with double broker. Who here co-brokers? Who here even knows the difference? Do you really, Jason?
All day, every day.
Really? Oh, man, I'm the only one that doesn't. Damn it. I'm the only one that doesn't.
Listen, I'm strong as hell in some areas. A couple friends of mine aren't.
Yeah.
And listen, there's mutual respect. The customer knows. The trucks know. Everybody knows. There's a signed agreement.
Yup.
You don't back solicit my shit. I don't back solicit yours. I'm transparent with the rate.
Let me say something funny here. The reason Rob and I met is because he was co-brokering at Smith Eagle.
No, I've never co-broker, bro. I have never.
Bullshit. I was quoting your loads all day long.
That's fine, but I didn't give you no load. What load did you run for me?
Man, you was rate checking. He was using to rate check the shit out of his freight.
No, so I don't co-broker, man. Like I don't, and here's the reason why, Jason. I love that you said what you said because people don't know the difference between co-brokering and double brokering. And co-brokering is legal, but it's like Jason said, everybody has to know all the parties involved. Like your shipper has to know, hey, I'm your broker, but I'm also using another broker and so forth, so on. And that is the one difference between double brokering and co-brokering. And also here's my thing with it, man. I've never been back solicited, and I will say I co-brokered a few loads with a guy at TQL with my first brokerage company because I didn't know any better. That guy at TQL fucking backdoored me and went and undercut that customer, even with our agreement. But who was I? We were a little 3-person show. How am I going to go after a multi-$100 million company and say you back solicited my customer? Because my customer wasn't going to say anything and be like, oh yeah, they saved us $300 a load. Let me go complain about them and help you with this lawsuit. So
they're leaning their own shit there, brother. They're leaning their own shit there. But I like to describe this.
I co-broker other people's freight. I cover freight for them. Nobody touches my freight.
Yes, already.
That's just the way that it works. Like I'll help you if I can help you, but nobody sees my freight. Period. If I can't cover my freight, I'm shutting the doors. Like,
that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm saying, Jason.
So most of my business is, full transparency here. It is co-brokered freight. We are the secondary broker. We have a certain niche that we tend to, and that is heavy haul over dimensional. And let's be real, most brokers out there in today's supply chain does not know the regulations state by state, city by city for heavy haul over dimensional. So I have numerous brokers, freight forwarders, that reach out to us to move this freight for them because we know how to do it.
Same here, brother. It's like international and drayage, dude.
I will never let someone co-broker my freight. I know how to move it all. I don't believe that you should be co-brokering simple things like simple, full truckload dry van kind of freight, LTL kind of freight. I mean, LTL is a little different. I mean, if you don't have access to that kind of network, then you don't have access to it. But the simple services, if you can't handle yourself, then get the hell out of the business. Let those of us that do know how to handle it, work with them directly. But not everyone has a reach. Not any one broker has a reach to hit all markets and all services. And so I do believe it is important for brokers to work with other brokers and work as a unified team to keep the supply chain moving with those services that we do specialize in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just do what you know and stay in your lane. But, it's like building a house, man. You got carpenters, you got foundation layers, you got people that, lay the bricks. Trying to build a house, put more tools in your belt.
I can see your point, Chad, man, because I can totally agree with your point of view. Trying to not overreach on your own strengths and depend on those that you're connected to. And I'll say like Hunter, I threw him a customer or whatever that they do drayage and stuff. I don't do drayage, man. I don't mess with it. Now I didn't co-broker it. I just threw it to Hunter, and Hunter will get me back when he gets me back. So to me, that's my way that I co-broker. Like I know someone that does something like you, Chad. If I come across some OD stuff, I'm gonna throw it to you and say, hey, bro, throw me 200. You know what I mean? Once you get going with this, Jason, whatever your specialty is, AJ, I don't mess with this, but I know you do. Kick me back a couple of hundo, buy me a couple of 6-packs, and we're good. But I don't never, ever, ever sign co-broker agreements because I don't trust it, man. And to me, it just kind of it gives way to allowing a double broker situation to go on. And here's my big thing is, and in every part of my life, I have things that I practice. And one of them is I don't like too many hands in the cookie jar. The more people that I add to the equation, the harder it is to get communication and sight on things and understand what's going on. And to me, my customers are my goal. Like they know when they call Rob, I will call that carrier directly and get involved. I don't need to call 5 other people and to get shit done. So, that's pretty much where I stand on things, man. It really is just not adding people to the equation. And the one time that I did it, I got burned. So I just don't trust anybody on it, man. It's just something that I do not do at all. Never, ever, ever. If a broker reach out to me, I say, I'm a broker. I don't co-broker. I don't double broker. Bye. That's the fucking end of it. Like I
don't muddy up the waters.
Nothing, bro. I don't.
I have 4 in place, but they're with my friends. They're people that I know personally.
Yeah, that I can agree with, Jason.
So, and they come to me because I'm strong in one lane. That if you don't have regulars, will beat your ass in the summer. And I've been running Arizona to Utah for 10 years. 90% of the guys that I got running for that stuff have been running at the same rate for 10 years, but they don't post on that because I keep them running. So when a couple of my friends came out of the woodworks in August last year, was like, hey, can you cover some of this Utah? I'm paying $3,000. I was covering them at $1,600 all day. And
don't say that, Jason. Shut the fuck up. Let me delete this real quick.
I am so transparent that it's good for everybody. And they were paying $3,000 because they had to pay Chicago carriers. You know what I'm saying? That were only here for the summer.
I have yet to meet a broker that says they are co-brokering. All of it is normally. I did a load here last week. 2 brokers involved. Man, I don't mind that, but if I've got to go through 2 or 3 or 4 persons,
You don't have to.
representing a carrier, man.
You don't have to, though. You got one point of contact. So, like, my guy gives me the freight. I auto tender it to 7 or 8 of my guys. There's no 2-3 hands in the cookie jar. I'm a no news is good news type of broker. My guys know when they send it to me, the only time they're going to hear from me is when it's delivered. They don't need to know that there's problems.
Yes.
The shit is taken care of. And if there's a problem, they know right away. And the truth. There's no bullshit. There's no handing loads back. Right?
Well, that's the only way to do it anyway.
Well, also, I don't go open market. I take this freight for carriers I have in the bucket. I know them. I have 25 carriers that run Utah. I've been doing it for 10 years. I don't post it. I'm not going to turn around and take your freight and post it. Now, if you want me to help you because I have deep capacity in the lane, we can do something. Let's go.
Okay, I have a question. I have one question. All right. When you are doing your co-brokering.
Yep.
Okay. Does the carrier, are you letting the carrier know?
Of course.
Because you are? Okay. That's a totally different deal. I'm talking about.
I'm not jamming anybody up. Everybody's transparent. But that's the value of having somebody who's honest and transparent like myself. Like, I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody. You know, they were brokers. They came to me and asked if I could help. They know I don't have trucks. I go to my guys and I go, look, my normal customers don't have freight on these days. I can get this other freight. It's from this brokerage. I mean, listen, a good carrier takes one look at that BOL and it's got this other company's name on it and calls me. They don't even have to do that. They just know. Like, hey, they know. They get paid. I get paid. There's no BS. And the reason I don't go open market is because now I'm risking my friend's freight on someone I don't know. I won't do that. I won't jam anybody up.
See, that's my problem with the I mean, seriously, if you're not the first caller anymore, you ain't getting no loads. And you've got to build that relationship with the brokers. So like yourself, I've got lanes that I run that I'm getting almost $6 a mile on.
Yeah.
That there's no way in hell am I going to let them put that on the load board.
No, because you also don't. You don't want the good freight on the boards, and you don't want to leave your good carriers without freight because then they go to the board, and let's say they find somebody who can pay $5 a mile because they have deep pockets. Well, I don't want them to come back to me and be like, I need you to pay me more because one guy over here paid me this once, right? So I take care of my guys. You know, I got 4 loads for Tuesday of next week. I text 4 people. All of them were covered in 30 seconds. Deuces. I was out the door. You know,
Deuces. I fucking love you, Jason. Deuces. Y'all heard that shit? Jason, I can spray you from the South, bro.
I'm definitely not from the South, my guy. I'm
That's
from
what we say. And you know, Chunk Them Deuces came from Texas, bro. And then DJ Screw, Chunk Them Deuces. SUC. Fucking man. Yeah, so I don't know. I understand all y'all's points, and Jason, man, like you're probably one of the you're the only one that I've ever heard that knows the true definition and the guidelines to co-broker and do it the right way, man. Because I said I don't do it because it is so, and with me it's so right for double brokering. And I mean, what they used to be. I'm now at the point in my career as a broker that Hunter, you and I were talking about this earlier, man. I got a customer today that they just gave me all of their shit. I like to just get all of your freight, your dedicated stuff. Let me know where it comes from, where it's going to. I'm going to make a carrier pull. I'm going to get someone on that shit every single time. And that's the end of it. But, you know, a lot of these new brokers, man, they get these, you know, TQL, CH Robinson, Landstar, Bay and Bay. Oh my God, I hate those fucking guys.
Stepping on everybody.
dude, they come out, man. They're like, oh, I'll get your stuff. I'll do your stuff. And, these newbies don't know any better, man. They don't know to sign these agreements. They don't know to get with their customer and say, hey, I'm using another broker and so forth and so on. And on that note with the customers, man, a lot of customers are finicky with that stuff. That's another reason I don't do it is I'm afraid personally to go to my customer and say, hey, I'm using another broker, and them just say, well, fuck.
Why am I
dealing with you? I'll just put you out of the picture and deal with that person. I'll find out who that is. So, I understand all y'all's points, Chad, Jason, using people that are specialized. But like I said, I'm just the guy, like, I'll just throw it to you, man, because, I'm already handling the stuff that I can handle. And what you're doing and what you do is in no way going to affect what I do, because you just can't. Your specialty cannot provide the service in the specialty that I deal with. So I just throw it away. And I know that may sound stupid, man, but like you said, Jason, I give it to my boys, man, or my girls, hey, I can't take care of this, but I know you can. Let me give you this business. And I know that you got a customer like Hunter. Man, me and Hunter, we've been talking like, dude, you got stuff that comes into the port. You take care of the dray. It goes to the warehouse. But what about after they transload it? How are they moving it from there? You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you my international shit, but you throw me that stuff after it gets translated on that dock, and I'll take care of it.
Those strategic partnerships.
Yeah. But to me, it eliminates all that bullshit paperwork and all this, I got to call so-and-so and do this or whatever. It's like, hey, you stay in your lane. I stay in my lane. We respect each other's lanes. You don't cross over. I don't cross over. If you don't use a blinker, I'm going to run your ass into the suicide wall. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so transparent with my co-broker agreements. My insurance company has copies of all 4 of them just to protect me.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yo, God forbid some shit go down. My insurance company looks for a reason not to pay a claim. You got me fucked up.
Dude, you're right.
Mine's ninja, dude. Jason, you got to share some of the wealth with the boys.
Well, I know how easy this thing could be taken away from me. So, I'm cautious.
Take food off my table, I will kill you.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm never going to go back to punching a clock for someone else, ever. So if it means I have to spend a little bit of more money right now to make sure I'm protected, I'm doing this for legacy. This is something I'm going to hand down to my kids one day. This is not a one-time bang bang. Like, this is how we're leveling up. So if you want to play with the big boys, you better act like a big boy. If you're going to act like, a knucklehead, you're going to fuck around and find out. And they're going to take it from you real quick. And then what do? Then I got to go back to stealing shit? Bro, come on, man.
Jay said that I could go back to doing kick nose.
Don't make me become 20 years old again, dude. I was just a douchebag when I was 20, dude. Like, but it's in me. It's dormant, but it's down there, right? So, man.
You got that dog in you.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. So
that's it, though, dude. No, man, that's what Rob and me and Chad be talking about all the time. It's like, the logistics is big in a grand scheme, but you look on LinkedIn, it is small circle. It's the cat's like you cut your teeth in this industry, and real recognizes real. Like, are you gonna do good business? Do you really care about this? Like, because this is the backbone of America, what we're doing here. Yeah, and if we don't do it right and pass on the right shit, then it's never gonna be right, And
the internet will pull your card real quick too. If you get caught slipping, you're gone.
Take your shit.
Oh yeah, Rob and I talked about that the other day. Like, talking about certain things, like certain people that you deal with, and if you're caught in that certain loop of people,
yes,
it will absolutely diminish you. Like,
100% of my inbound is off LinkedIn. 100% of my customer inbound is from LinkedIn, as are my agents. My reputation is what it is. And if I weren't who I was, those people wouldn't work with me and they'd call me out. So they're not only is it important to me as a person, but it's how my business has grown. I haven't made a cold call in 2 years. I don't reach out.
We all just trying to get to Jason's level. I mean, that's
a beautiful thing. I mean, I'll touch on what dude, like, this has been a slow season for drayage. Rates are shit.
Yes.
Everybody's cutting throats. But I have always had, for the past 4 or 5 weeks, couple meetings set up every week just from somebody off of LinkedIn. from somebody that I've just reached out to, talked to, you know, just having conversations, being
real.
Dr. Dre, you know, being me. Like, hey.
I've actually blocked a bunch of people on LinkedIn. Once I realized you're a car salesman and you're full of shit, you gotta go.
Hey, can I market for you?
Yo,
hey.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I'll touch on this, Jason. Here's how small our world is. Like Hunter was saying, I remember when Hunter asked me, he's like, "Hey man, do you know who this Jason? Jason, how do you say your last name? Is it Rabin? Rabine? All right.
Rabine.
So he was like, "Hey, do you know this Jason Rabine guy?" And I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, I've been talking shit to this dude all the time on LinkedIn." And a guest that we're gonna have on next week, or in a few weeks, Hunter said, "Hey man, I got this guy coming on." I was like, "Bro, I know that fucking dude personally. He used to work here. Like, I know exactly who you're. I literally have this guy's cell phone. I know his fucking son's name." You know, so this industry, it is so small. And Jason, I'll say, man, like I've noticed, which is something I'm trying to do, is that building your brand in this industry, especially on social media, man. You know, LinkedIn as far as shippers and customers, and I've noticed Facebook, you know, more the carrier side, getting those carrier partners. It's important, man, which is the reason like we're doing this show and trying to get this off the ground, is to bring bring the spotlight on us and show, hey, you know, this is what we do. We know what we're talking about. We do what we're talking about. You know, basically, hey, I talk the talk, I walk the walk. And once you start building that stuff and people start trusting you, as my boss Kyle Graves say, referral business is the best business and the only business that you want to do business with. Yes. So, like, that's it, dude. Because, you know, referrals, like Jay said, man, these people coming to him, those are the people who don't question you. You know, you say, hey, this is what the rate's going to be to run this load. This is how I'm going to do it. And they're just like, okay, cool. As long as it gets done, I don't give a shit. And those are the people that I love the best, man. And all of my customers are pretty much like that. It's, you know, this person told them about me and I'm doing stuff with them. Just like this crab customer that you and I were talking about, Hunter, man. Like, that dude was a referral from a fishery guy that I deal with in Idaho. I've never ran a load for this guy, but he said, dude, you got to hit up Rob. His communication is awesome. His rates are pretty damn decent. The dude knows what he's talking about. And now, as of today, like, I'm his fucking only source for carrier shit, man. So, you know, that stuff truly freaking matters, man. Building your brand and getting that reputation, bro.
What I like about LinkedIn, and I've kind of fallen into this kind of brand, is I tell people how I do things, and the people that don't vibe with me don't fuck with me, and the people that do know what they're getting into. So it's the bullshit, right? Like, there's nothing worse than spending 9 months vetting a customer and you run one load and you're like, that dude's an idiot. What am I doing?
My customers are my friends, dude. My customers are my friends. If I'm going to do long-term business with you, I want to at least be able to call you up and shoot the shit, you know, 100%. Even if we're not talking business.
Yeah. Listen, if you treat me like a relationship, I'll give you the world. The minute you say to me, I need your best rate, and I'm on a blind copy email, I'm replying all with memes for days. Don't fucking waste my time.
I don't never, bro. I was just telling Hunter this, man, and I think maybe all of you can agree. I think that what I'm about to say is the true evolution of a broker. I walk away from customers all the time for the exact reason that Jason said. If I call you and you shoot me a blind email, and I want to say I love the fucking people that like reply all when it's not blind and they tell you what the rate is. But anyway,
I love those threads. Love those threads.
When you copy me in a blind email or I talk to you and they're like, hey, I'll add you to my list. That word list says one thing to me. There's 40 other fucking people that I'm competing with. I will never reply to your email, bro. Never, not once, because my time is too important. My knowledge, I've been in this business 16 years from the military to a civilian driver. I've been a transportation manager, everything. I know too much shit to be wasting my time with Joe Schmo high school kid that don't know nothing about this industry. I just won't, man. All of my customers, they're either single source or I may compete with 3 or 4 other people, and they just do it because, kind of like Jason in the chat said, man, like they know, hey, Rob's good on this lane and he's okay on this one, but this other guy's better, but I'm gonna give everybody a chance. So, dude, I mean, like I said, I think that's true evolution of a broker, man. When you know, hey, this is what I'm worth, I'm not dealing with your bullshit freight. I'm not going cheap rates. Price is not always king. I ain't got time to play with you. My stuff, I've got better things to do with my damn time. And again, like Jason said, man, and it's all about that brand and your reputation, man. And I think that also stops the point of this conversation. The double brokers, the co-brokers, a lot of the bullshit, when they know that you're not a joke broker, that you know what you're talking about, you know this business, you've got protocols and checklists in place, that they don't waste their time. And I think all of us can agree, just like Jason did with this call. Like, if you send me an email, first thing I'm doing is saying, what's your MC? I'm running it, so forth. So I'll straight tell you, I'm not fucking with you. I don't co-broker. I don't double broker. You've got this, you got that, your freight guards report, so forth, so on. Kick fucking rocks. And that's the end of it, you know? So, yeah, man.
I mean, I'm not an order taker, and I charge because I'm good at what I do. You know what you're getting yourself into. Here's where I try to separate myself from everyone else. When I quote a lane, I give some context to why the rate is what it is. Like, straight up.
Amen.
Like, edge you. Because listen, at the end of the day, what do they think I'm doing? Just throwing 20% on the DAT average? Like, nah, dude, just that DAT average isn't always true. Because you could look at the DAT heat map and it could be 90 trucks to one load and it's tight. Well, that 7-day DAT average, that rolling average is lying to you. And that's when you lose $1,000, $2,000. So if you know where it's going into or coming out of, and the rate, it says what it says, but there's other factors. So when I know that I'm coming in high, but it's like, listen, you may not give me the freight, but you'll call me in an hour when the other broker messes it up because they jacked the rate up, you know, like, and I'm cool with that, but at least I educated them. You know, it's not like I just try to gouge you $1,000. There's a reason why I'm telling you what it is.
Dude,
you either like it or not, but at least it's information.
It's funny you say that, Jason. Like, I've dealt with that today, like last minute shit. Like, customers need to understand how much goes into the background of what we actually do. If it's something specialized, it is, man. One of the best ways I've seen logistics put is like, you ever seen the front of a patch? It looks nice and pretty and everything's exactly how it needs to be, but on the back end there's all these different threads, everything that went into it, and it's not that pretty. Like, if something takes up hours and hours of my day to do for you just to make sure it goes right, I would hope that you understand that. And if you don't, you're not worth my time as a customer. But to your point there, sometimes it does take just telling a customer, like, look, if you don't agree with my rate, that's fine. If you got a better option, great. But they will come back. Come back.
I'll screenshot DAT's rate view and I'll send it. Because here, listen to this. This is the reason why. Because sometimes that market's volatile as hell. Okay, the average is $2,000, but the low's 1,000 and the high's 4,000. Like, what? Yo, okay. So I'll screenshot it and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get my ass kicked, but let me work on this and secure a capacity, because I'm not writing a $2,000 check on a what if, right? Like,
yeah.
But I educate them because it's like, some people want to know. They want to know what's going on out there. I told all my LTL customers we're not going to use Yellow a month before Yellow shit the bed. And I told them why. Even though they were always the cheapest, they were crap service. But I saw the writing on the wall, because my fear was I had 40 trucks on the road stuck in their warehouse and I wasn't going to be able to get it out when they shut the doors. So I said, hey, look, we might as well pivot now so you're used to it. The market's going to fluctuate when they shut it down anyway. You might as well be prepared for it now and pass that cost on to your customers, because we can't just rip the Band-Aid off, right? So I was ahead of the game, but it's that education right there that's so valuable. Yep. Listen, if you're not charging 20%, like, I don't know what you're doing out here. I don't have a problem showing what I'm going to pay a truck and then saying, this is my service fee. Here's my 20%. This is what I charge. I tell my customers what I make.
Jason, you are my brother from another mother. Oh my fucking God. So I love that you touched on that, man, because I do the same exact thing. I believe that part of the way that you build trust and relationship with a customer is being transparent with them.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing that you said about RateView, I do that same shit.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm transparent with all my customers. Like I tell them, hey, this is what I'm charging you. This is what I think that I'm gonna get a truck at. So that's the end of it. I don't know if any of you guys saw my post today for the crab loads that I have out of Norfolk. In that post, I literally said, dude, I'm paying $400 above every other fucking load that goes to Florida, and I'm $200 above the lane rate. The reason that is because I told my customer, hey, look, your shit comes out of a hotbed for reefer freight. Like you have no idea how much reefer freight comes out of a 100-mile radius of Norfolk, West Virginia or Virginia. So like I've got to charge you enough that I can post my rate and top all those other fucking people that are on this load board. And that may not sound cool to you, but just remember what you get with me. You know, you can call me on my cell day or night. You know, my people are going to track 24/7. All of these things that, like, I tell them, this is the value and the cost it does or it is to do business with me, man. I'm not TQL. I'm not CH. I'm not Bay and Bay. I'm not Joe Schmo Freight. It's just worried about getting the load from you. And I will say this: I love when I see brokers talk about taking the losses because, man, I'm gonna tell you, I very rarely take a loss because I'm good at rating my shit. I know this crab customer, his stuff is high value. I need $500,000 in insurance. If y'all know anything, $500,000 is like a needle in a fucking haystack of needles. So I told him, dude, I'm gonna need several hundred more dollars on top of this because if they don't have this insurance, I need an insurance policy to cover this freight for you. This is what you got to pay for. Dude literally said, I've got 3 other people that are $400 less from you. I said, all right, bro, just like you said, Jason, I love that you said it. Hey, man, give it to them. Call me in 2 hours when they fucking fail you, and then I'll take care of it. Dude, he called me, didn't even flinch. I sent him that email. He called me, said, Rob, good point. I'm going to give it to you. I know you're going to get it done. That's the end of the story. So, man, I love that you said all those things. I literally do every single bit of that, man. I think context is important when you're giving these rates and you're telling your customers, this is why I'm 10% or 15% higher than everybody else, is because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I do. And I'm telling you, this is what it's going to take to move this load. Call me when the other broker fails.
Well, it builds trust because sometimes they'll call me if I have a customer who has his own truck and he's struggling to get out of somewhere. He might call me or she might call me and say, why am I struggling in this area? And I'll educate them on things that I look at. And it may be something where I don't make money on a load. It's just pure relational conversation. Like, hey, you know what you're talking about. I don't understand what's going on over here. What do you think's happening? And I'm happy to take that call because that builds trust. So the more trust you have, the less pushback you get with rates. You know, like it is what it is. And at the end of the day, you're not going to win all the freight, but you know what? I'd rather educate a customer on what to look out for. I mean, when I first onboard a new customer, I ask them where their lanes are. I don't even take a load for 2 weeks. Then I stalk that and I look at who's posting their stuff at what rates and I screenshot that shit. And I'm like, I don't know what they quoted you, but hopefully it's not more than 20% because you're getting smacked on the bottom. And if it's a 40, 50% rip, they look at me and they're like, we're overpaying for this. Yes, you are. So now you understand I do my due diligence and my homework, and I put the suckers on blast who are out here stealing your money. Like, I'm transparent. It's 20%.
Bro, we are broker twins separated in birth, Jason. I swear to God.
I'm a dick, but you know what? I'm not a taker, dude. I don't settle for that BS. But also, I know other brokers do that with my freight because the smart brokers will. But when they talk to my customer's like, well, I know what Jason charges. He told me. Well, yeah. And I'm going to post it at that rate if I have to. Like, it is what it is. Now, I charge 20%. And if I make 25 because that's what it is, or if I only make 5, it is what it is. But my charge is 20 on top of the rate. And then I work with it from there. If I take an L, I take an L. I lost $1,000 today on a load. You know, I had a first come, first serve delivery for today. I've never had to call him. Dude shows up in the warehouse is like, yeah, we are first come, first serve, but we ran out of space. Can't take it till Tuesday. I gave that dude an extra $1,000 right there. I wrote a check for it. Customer never knew anything about it. It's taken care of. The truck's taken care of. I lost money, but you know what? It's a cost of business.
I did that three weeks ago, bro. 3 weeks ago on this show I was talking about. I was literally talking to the carrier, man, like on the phone and everything. Dude was a recovery truck for me. He picked up the load late from the shipper, which was cool because I've got a great relationship with him. But he missed the appointment at a huge grocer. And by the time he got there, they had switched from receiving to shipping. And I talked to the dock manager and he said, hey, man, I'm trying. He said, but I have to get these other trucks loaded. He said, if I pull him into the dock and they see that I unloaded a truck during receiving, they will have my ass.
Yeah.
So I ended up paying the guy, I think it was like $500 or $700 extra in detention to sit there, man. And I did. I lost all $500 of that money. But I wanted to do my carrier right, man. For one, the dude runs a dedicated lane for me. He's done it for a year. Dude has never, not once, fucked me. And I said, hey, man, like, it sucks. I'm sorry for you, but I'm willing to take that loss. And I didn't. I never said shit to my customer. Like, as far as they know, I paid whatever it was I paid for the load, and that was the fucking end of it.
Yep. I've worked at brokerages, and I have friends that work at brokerages who will go back to the customer and ask for more money at every chance they get. That's just unprofessional to me. And the thing is, freight karma is real. If you do that to your customer, your trucks are going to do that to you. You set a precedence for everybody to have their hand out. So if you just don't open that door, there's no conversation to have. It is what it is. I'm also a grown ass man. If I commit to something, I'll take care of it. Like it's so silly to me that customers even let that happen. You know?
I agree, man. I agree. I mean, I will say there are times that like I've underbid something, and then I go back to customers and say, hey, man, like these are the options I get, and this is what I need. If you got someone else in cover it, do it. But anything else, like I don't, man. I will say that when it comes to detention and layover, that I've been so vocal about this. Like I don't even talk to my customers about that shit. Like, you're paying layover and you're paying detention. That's just the end of the fucking story. But I have a plant customer, man. A lot of these carriers come back at me and they want washouts. My customer knows this, man, but like I don't charge them for them, dude. I'm like, hey, like I know that's a cost of doing business with you. Sometimes they ask for it, sometimes they don't. But I'm willing to eat that washout because, dude, you throw me so much freight, man. It is what it is. Yeah. And but dude, you're right, man. A lot of these brokers, they're afraid to man up to what they say they're going to do. You know what I mean? And take the rate that they say they're going to do.
I'm going to tell you why. Because they're paid $30,000 a year with the dangle of commission and bonus in front of them. They don't want to take that L because it cuts out of their money. So, like it's the pay structure that doesn't allow for the brokers to do right by the customer because all they care about is their bank account.
Yeah.
Right? Like I never did that when I was a W-2 broker. I gave a shit. I think that's why I was good at what I did because I realized real quick, damn, the only way this works, man, is if I hustle and I'm legit. The minute I start nickel and diamond, reputation gets out, and I was a jerk my first year as a broker. And on Chad Boblett's, Rate Masters Facebook page, I didn't know, but I searched my shit up on there and I had plenty of people put me on blast my first year.
That guy, Jason.
Bro, humble me quick, man.
Boblet. He's a fucking idiot.
Listen, I'm not a fan of him. I don't necessarily agree with his stance, but he's got a massive Facebook following on that page. And you search your name on there, and somebody had my name in their mouth, and I went. At first, I was like, "Yeah, I made it," and then I was like, "Oh shit, no, I did not. Oh no." So
what's the Facebook page?
It's called Rate Per Mile Masters.
Oh, you don't want to go in there, man.
It's
I live for this shit.
It's a black hole, bro. It's bad.
I've been banned. I was banned. I'm the type of guy, as you probably have all figured, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I really don't have any filter. And I say what's on my mind, and you either agree with me or you don't. You're one of the, if you like me, you don't. And me and Boblet don't get along. Him and Kevin fucking idiot Rutherford. There's so many people in this industry that should not be here, honestly. We've already got enough thieves. Now we just got more liars, more snitch.
They're just
I mean,
mouthpieces.
it's
All they do
terrible.
is talk. Yep.
I don't know. I don't give, honestly, I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but I don't give two shits about your opinion of me. Cause like I said, I know what I'm doing. I've been in this long enough, bro, that you can't play a player, as we say. Like carriers don't come fucking with me. I drove for 10 and a half years. I'm a million miler. And if any of you have ever been a driver, you know what a million miler is. So, don't touch me. I done been to every corner of this country. You can't fuck with me. Brokers, I know your game. I used to be a transportation manager. I book trucks with you. Don't play me. It's just not going to work. And if you don't like my rates as a carrier, kick rocks. Like, I'm going to do what I do. Anybody that does business with me, and I've got endless people. Terry, I've never done business with you, but Sam, he's done business with me. Nora, he's done business with me. I don't pay
I'm fair.
rates.
I mean, really coming from a dispatcher, I try to be fair. Right now, fuel's going up, so I'm asking for more money. I don't know if it's there, but if I'm calling Jason up, let's say you throw a load on the board and it's, I don't know, 600, 800 miles, and you got like 23 to 25 you got posted, you got on that one price and fucking ITS on another. When I call you, I'm going to ask for more money, even if it's good, even if you're maxed out.
Real.
Reason why?
You should never negotiate against yourself, of course.
Well, I mean, it's not. If I don't ask for it, I'm not going to get it. Period.
Right. Yeah.
I love that you say that, Terry, because like I said, I operate a flatbed, and my driver Garrett, he's fucking phenomenal. We're a company of all veterans, and dude, even when he sends me rates or loads, and he's like, "Hey Rob, rate this for me," I'm like, "Oh, dude, the rate's good, but ask for 250 more." Like he's like, "Wow," I'm like, "Bro, like always ask for more." Like, who gives a shit if the rate's good? Ask for 300, 500 more. You never know what you're gonna get.
I never post my top rate anyway. Like, as a broker, why would you start where you're trying to end? You start 300 lower, and you're happy at 25 if you posted at 22. Like, come on,
bro.
But it also depends on how far out the load is. Like, dude, if I can load on the board for next Friday, dog, I'm 1,000 lower. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just let it sit there. Like, I don't care.
I'll give you an example. Right now, I booked a load, man, and the broker wanted to pay $4,900 for it. It's a little multi-stop. And I said, nah. I told my boy, I said, nah, dude. I said, if I was going to rate this as a broker, this is what I would be at. So you should ask for this as a carrier. And it was $5,600. And the broker came back and said, nah, I could do 51. I said, listen, my guy's going to do this load. It drops 15 minutes from my house. We're going to chop this out for you. That shit will be dropped by Friday. You're going to have no problems. Send me to Raycon, 5,400. And she said, I can't do it. I said, well, when your customer says they can do 5,400, get back to me. First thing this morning, $5,400 Raycon. And like, dude, that's what I wanted. I said, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. They had the load on the board, like I said, for 49. I got 500 more out of it. So, you can never ask for more, or never not ask for enough, because all you can get is a yes or no on that, man. I mean, that's really all it comes down to.
The worst thing that I hear in logistics, and this is something that bothers me, is when a broker hears a rate and just says no and hangs up, or a carrier does that. If you do that to me, if you're listening right now, if you call me and you hang up on me, your ass is getting put on a sticky note, and I will remember you. Dead ass. Dead ass. Call me again, motherfucker. I will remember you 5 years from now. Hey, bro, on September 1st, you were a dick and you hung up on me. Like, what's up? We're gonna talk about it. Because that shit is rude. I've never done it. I don't understand it. And here's when it happens. Whoever has the leverage in the market is a dick. That's just the way it is. Look, during COVID, I could hang up on everybody and they'd call me back begging me for freight because the money was crazy during COVID. Now
you send an invoice for broker detention.
Oh, you gotta work for the money. I mean, if you're
Get
not
that broker layover.
Broker layover. Waste my
those
time.
loads don't stay very long on that load.
We got to get Jason. We got to get Jason on the broker layover kick. So Jason,
broker layover.
Check this out, Jason. So we came up with an idea. So you know, like carriers will charge us detention and layover, you know, like if we mess stuff up. So we came with the idea, well, like if you mess up, you should have to pay us, like broker layover. If you were late for my load, you should have to pay me fucking $150 or $200.
You don't have that. Hold on, though. You don't have that on your rate confirmation.
No, I do. We do. Like if you miss appointments, then it's like $150 rate deduction, and then I even have some customers that if you don't do or whatever it is, then it's like a 20%. So yes, I do, but it was just some funny shit that fucking Hunter brought up.
Yeah, I got it all on there, but nowhere on my contract.
That's the T-shirt that needs to be made.
You pay me $250 for your broker layover.
Layover. I like it. Well, I mean, as a broker, we have the leverage because we're the ones paying the bill. Now, I don't strong arm carriers.
I don't either.
Rarely will I deduct. Well, I'm gonna deduct this lady who jacked me up this week. She partialed one of my loads. I was supposed to be dedicated. It showed up with a broke seal. Showed up 4 days late. The pallets were rearranged. It was damages. She's getting waxed half. Because I hired a dedicated truck and she made more money on top of it and still jacked my freight up. In that situation, you did that to yourself. Not only did I look stupid showing up 4 days late, the seal was broke, everything was moving around, the customer's yelling at me, I look like an idiot. I don't fail well gracefully. So guess what? What makes me feel better is taking some of your money. Because you cost me, you know, my ego got bruised because I obviously hired a shit truck, which that's never good. But at the same time, it could potentially cost me numerous amounts of money. Because if they pull the lane from me, out goes all that money. So I'm not going to reward you for doing dirty things behind my back.
Absolutely.
There's just no room for that. And if I was a carrier, I would understand that. And that's just the name of the game, you know?
Yeah. On that note, though, guys, it's getting late here. And
I know. I'm about
to go to bed. So, Jason, it's been a pleasure, my man. I really look forward to more conversation in the future. I really hope to see you on here again. Terry, thanks for joining us. And, of course, the Rob and Hunter, it's a pleasure, and I look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck you, Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good night.
I love you, brother. Have a good one, man.
That's
I got to get off here, too, because my wife, she works